Tonight on Oswego Now, as the protests in support of the Palestinian people spread to college campuses across the country, see how it's spreading to Oswego as well.
Plus, Oswego police are investigating a homicide. One suspect is in custody and a neighborhood's on edge.
And President Joe Biden visits Syracuse, what he and other officials had to say about Micron's $100 billion investment in central New York.
This is Oswego Now.
Good evening and welcome to Oswego Now. I'm Megan Gagno.
And I'm Thomas Caffarella.
On college campuses across the country, the number of rallies being held in support of the Palestinian people continues to grow, spreading to college campuses in New York like Cornell and Columbia. The members of Oswego's Students for Justice in Palestine group are joining those nationwide rallies. Their first march was held last month. Another is about an hour from now.
Oswego Now reporter Kaylee Richmond is outside of Culkin Hall where that rally is scheduled to take place at 5:30. Kaylee, how is the organization preparing for the protest and what do the students hope to achieve?
Thank you, Thomas and Megan. I'm here right outside of Culkin Hall, where in just an hour, students will be gathering in front of this building to petition the university to divest from Israeli pensions and funding that sponsor the institution. But before any protesting begins today, students gathered in the Marano Campus Center to make posters and signs for this afternoon's rally. I talked with SJP President Kaylin Jimenez, who is disappointed in the college, saying that the organization will not stop until the university takes actions. And with the protests happening on campuses across the country, she says she's proud to be a part of the nationwide movement.
Let's continue to fight for Palestinians. They have not heard us, they have not listened to us, and they stay complicit, which means we must continue to agitate. I think it's all interconnected, and what we see at Columbia and Harvard and FIT definitely has impacted us, and we stand in solidarity with all.
Protesters will gather here in front of Culkin Hall at 5:30, but Oswego Now will keep you updated as this protest progresses. But for now, reporting for Oswego Now, I'm Kaylee Richmond. Thomas?
Thank you, Kaylee. And a developing story happening here in the city of Oswego. Just before midnight, city police discovered a male victim dead from a gunshot wound. The call started as an assault complaint over on East 10th Street. Oswego police were still on the scene this afternoon. We're told by investigators the suspect fled the scene but was found in the city of Fulton and is currently being held there pending arraignment. No info on the suspect or victim has been released, but Oswego police said in a statement this is an isolated incident and there is no threat to the public. Oswego Now will continue to monitor the situation as more information is released.
New York State's budget for the 2025 fiscal year passed this week after weeks of delays. The budget total comes in at $237 billion in spending, the largest in state history. The budget bolsters the state's universities in some ways, including making the completion of the FAFSA universal for high school seniors and a $114 million investment in operating funding for state-run schools. SUNY Oswego will benefit from the new funding, but will be hurt by the removal of $1 million from the university's emergency maintenance fund, as schools across the state lose funding in that area this budget cycle. President Peter Wosu sent a statement to students Tuesday from SUNY Chancellor John B. King, outlining how these cuts will affect SUNY as a whole, but could not be reached for comment on how SUNY Oswego will be affected.
And investing in America, a message from the president.
Joe Biden was in Syracuse this week. Our Oswego Now reporter Clarissa Karki has the latest.
The funding for the grant stems from the CHIPS Act, which is a bipartisan group of lawmakers passed in 2022 to reestablish the United States as a leader in the production of semiconductors.
SUNY Oswego is developing new opportunities for its media students with the establishment of a new chapter of the Broadcast Education Association, or BEA, on its campus. Melita Williams tells us what the group is all about. As SUNY Oswego continues to expand its presence in broadcasting education, the establishment of the BEA chapter marks a significant milestone and what Kreider says is a journey towards excellence in media studies.
And let me tell you, Megan, this weather forecast has me ready to change my sweatshirt for a tank top.
I feel the same exact way. Let's get a quick weather update with Oswego Now meteorologist Aurora Fitzgerald.
Thanks, guys. That is right. Hopefully you will be able to wear that tank top very soon. The temperatures are expected to increase, but taking a look outside right now, 49 degrees with the winds at 10 miles per hour. Not too bad out there. Dew points at 35. Humidity is 37, so it's very, very dry out there. And it feels like 44 degrees. We do have a lot of weather, interesting weather coming up, but I'll have that coming up for you guys in my full forecast. Back to you for now.
Thank you, Aurora. And coming up later, you get them in your email and maybe even via text message. We're talking about surveys, what they're used for, and why they're important. That story still ahead.
And hear more from a local rabbi with the latest on this year's Passover.